is visible.
इसरो के ट्रैकिंग और कमांड नेटवर्क के टेलीमेट्री के निदेशक वी.एन. रामाकृष्ण ने आज इस खास दिन पर अपने विचार रखे। उन्होंने चंद्रयान 2 से जुड़े अपने अनुभव साझा किए। चंद्रयान 2 की असफलता के वक्त प्रधानमंत्री वहीं उपस्थित थे और कैसे उन्होंने वहां मौजूद हर व्यक्ति को संभाला और हौसला बढ़ाया था। साथ ही उन्होंने चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता पर भी अपने विचार साझा किए।
Chandrayaan 2 was another big mission which we were all aiming to land, soft landing on the moon, South Pole. So that time when Modi ji had come to ISRO, so we had made a lot of arrangements at ISRO. The most important point I would like to bring here is he wanted to spread this scientific knowledge to the younger generation. So we had arranged the children from all over India. I think from each state there were 2 or 3 students who had come to ISRO Bangalore to watch this landing event. And we had made all arrangements for the school kids to stay at ISRO within the campus. And also we had made a good arrangement for Prime Minister ji to be at ISRO campus. He was sitting in the visitors gallery constantly monitoring the various parameters of Chandrayaan 2. Everything was going so smoothly. He was feeling very good about that. And the school children were also watching. See, the idea of bringing the school children to a control center is not simple. Because today what scientific community is achieving, if it is known to the younger generation, definitely it will lead to the knowledge spreading. So that was his idea. And he also wanted to interact with the children. That was his idea. And he wanted to explain to them how we are going to moon, how we are landing on the moon. That was the kind of knowledge he had on Chandrayaan 2. But the last minute where we could not land properly on the moon, we had a hard landing instead of soft landing. It took some time for all of us to digest. There was a pin drop silence in the control center, and Prime Minister ji also was watching from the visitors gallery. Then after 4 or 5 minutes, when we were not able to communicate to the Chandrayaan 2 lander from our deep space antenna, we had to announce that it was not a soft landing. So with that, Prime Minister ji he came down from the visitors gallery, and he consoled each one of us at that moment, because all of us were in great emotions. We thought that he is not going to come back, and we were all trying to analyze what went wrong. It was almost morning 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We were still having discussions in the meeting room, what went wrong and why we did not land properly. At that time we got a message that Honorable Prime Minister is coming and addressing us at 8 o'clock. We were, thinking what he is going to talk at this time where we had a great failure. But he has taken all of us into his confidence, and he said, always failures are part of the success. Don't worry. Today, what you have missed, please look at it and come back. And I'm sure ISRO and India is going to be successful on one of the day. So that was the kind of assurance he gave, and even he patted our former chairman and said, don't worry, keep working and see what went wrong and bring back Chandrayaan 3. Chandrayaan 3 landing, which happened on 23rd August, he was watching live from South Africa. So when we landed on the moon, our chairman announced that India is on moon, and immediately our Honorable Prime Minister waved the flag and continuously he clapped, and the entire control center was a big area of joy, I can say. Everyone was clapping and shouting. So after that, when our chairman said that India is on the moon, and when Prime Minister ji he started addressing us, it was a very nice thing. He told that India has achieved this feat not only for India, to the entire human community. He said this achievement is not just for our nation, it is for the entire world. So he also said that the scientific data, whatever we get from this landing and rover, whatever data we collect, will be available for the entire humanity for analysis. And he also said that this is not just a success, it is not only India has to celebrate it, the entire world has to celebrate. So that is how he took this success to the entire world, not just by India alone or ISRO alone. Is in 2014, after our Mars orbiter mission success, and subsequently we had few launches, and then he had thought that space is going to be a real game changer for our nation. In fact, he arranged a conference in Delhi inviting all the ministries and inviting the people from ISRO and giving them the knowledge of what space can do. Whether it could be agriculture, it could be oceanography, it could be remote sensing, all ministries were brought into one forum, and there was a conference held for 2 days to educate all the ministries that what is the amount of results, or what is the amount of data what we can get from space can be so useful.
इसरो के वैज्ञानिक पवित्रा शिंदे ने बताया कि कैसे प्रधानमंत्री ने चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता के बाद वैज्ञानिकों का हौसला बढ़ाया था, कैसे प्रधानमंत्री हमेशा देश के वैज्ञानिकों के साथ खड़े रहते हैं.
I can start from Chandrayaan 3, the landing time, the most glorious historic moment. So I was almost in the front row. I was monitoring our Doppler. So I come from the flight dynamics team, which is concerned with the trajectory design and maneuver design. So at the time of landing, I was monitoring in the system, and yes, we landed, and then we had our chairman announcing it, and then came that ISRO had a virtual interaction with the Honorable Prime Minister. So it was a moment of joy, you know, it is some kind of a special joy, I can say, and that I could relate with the PM. He also experienced the same, and he told it's something which is very rare. And then he congratulated the entire scientific community, ISRO community, and then he applauded our efforts. 3 days later, he came to Bangalore and he met us. So I was one among the women scientists who were identified to interact with the PM. And how he started was our landing. You know, Vikram setting its foot on the moon, the South Polar region. We happen to be the first country to be in the South Polar region. He related that with Angad setting his foot. That is a firm, it's a firm. He mentioned that. And then he started like with congratulating each of us, and then our efforts, the scientific community and ISRO as a whole, how we contribute to the he was just telling the space sector is not just launch and then the satellite missions. It is about, we have to think forward, how we can expand, especially the space sector, into easing the governance and what can come to the common man. So about that he started, and then he asked us to think about that. Naming our Vikram landing point as Shiv Shakti. As we all know, Shiv giving us a resolution on well-being of the mankind, and Shakti giving us that energy. And then what happened is I happened to be in Chandrayaan 2 team also. So whenever our orbiter was imaging the upcoming Chandrayaan 3 landing site, I used to have this lat long. I used to say 69.3 and 32 degree, the prime site, and all that. That is how it was happening. And then he gave a recognition to that point. You know, it was like, I can say, हम लोग जैसे बोलते हैं, parent has given the child to the moon, and then a sage has, जैसे नामकरण होता है, उस place का नामकरण उन्होंने किया, and it was so apt that all of us know it could, it relates from Kanyakumari to Greater Himalayas. And then he brought in, like, he wanted to emphasize the women power, you know, the contribution of the women into the scientific and the space community. He told, I can quote what he had told, Shrishti Sthiti Vinashana, Shakti Bhute Sanatani. Means right from creation to destruction of this universe, from the beginning, there is women power behind. So that is like, he shows that respect to the mothers, sisters and daughters of the nation, and his encouragement. And that also, I happened to be in the tableau of the Republic Day. So there he had, from the PMO office, we had an invitation to witness the Republic Day. And it's the first time that ISRO had a tableau. And they had nominated few women scientists who worked in Chandrayaan 3 to be there on this tableau. And I'm happy to say that I was one among them. So it was a proud moment for me, and it shows the recognition. He wants to highlight the contribution of the women in this particular field, the space field. His encouragement, especially for the younger generation, especially schools and colleges, he urged us, like especially the ISRO scientists, to inspire them, to guide them, share our experience. And after this, it has been lot of programs are being conducted from our office, our HRD office conducts, and I'm happy, like I was also one of them to have some speech in the schools, to inspire the young minds. And whenever they visit our ISRAC facility, so I happen to deliver a few lectures and explain them about Chandrayaan 3 and the next, the Aditya mission. So these all, it gives a sense of pleasure and some satisfaction. Like, yeah, I'm doing something for the society.